Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Eavesdropper Sheila makes a mess, discovers Taylor's grim condition. The bold and the beautiful B&B. Spoilers reveal that Sheila Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, has a habit of inserting herself in situations where she isn't welcome. Sheila is the kind of character who can pop up and cause trouble without warning, so she could join the Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Buddick drama soon. At the moment, Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, is the only one who knows what Taylor is truly facing. Although Lee is keeping Taylor's heart failure and grim outlook under wraps, this secret is destined to leak. At some point, it's easy to imagine Lee and Taylor having another argument about what's best. Lee doesn't want to push too hard, but she's really hoping that Taylor will change her mind about coming clean and accepting her family's support. However, Taylor can't stand the thought of burdening her loved ones with such heavy knowledge, at least not until she's closer to the end. There'll come a time when Taylor will have no choice but to confess, but she wants to keep things normal for as long as possible. Maybe Lee could take Taylor out to lunch at Il Giardino and try to talk her into a full confession anyway. Lee might even insist this is putting her in an awkward position, since she's hiding something that affects John Finnegan's, Tanner Novlan, wife deeply. Taylor and Lee might assume Sheila has the day off, but she could actually end up eavesdropping around the corner. After all, Sheila has done it before, like when she overheard the news about Hope Logan's, Annika Noel, feelings for Finn. Now B&B might raise the stakes and let Sheila eavesdrop on an even bigger secret. What if Sheila discovers Taylor's heart condition and learns that she's going to lose her life because of it? Sheila might decide that Lee is being a bad mom for hiding something so massive from Finn. Perhaps Sheila could run straight to Finn's office and tell them what Lee won't, partly to prove she's the better mother in her own mind. Of course, it's also possible Sheila will decide she can score points with Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline Mythinswood, by telling her the truth. Maybe Sheila could try to prove she cares about Steffi by coming clean, even if she's mostly just trying to impress Finn. Sheila could argue that Steffi deserves to know what's going on as Taylor's loving daughter. Whatever the case, our predictions hint that Sheila could make a mess of things eventually, so stick with us for updates on how she might react to Taylor's shocker. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Sheila might be delusional enough to think she can fill that motherly void for Steffi once Taylor's gone. Sheila Carter had always been one to lurk in the shadows, her reputation preceding her wherever she went. Her mere presence could cause a ripple of chaos, and today was no different. She had heard whispers of something that piqued her interest, a secret that no one intended for her to uncover. Taylor Hayes, the once strong and resilient woman Sheila had tangled with many times before, was hiding something. And in Sheila's world, secrets were meant to be unearthed and exploited. It wasn't hard for Sheila to slip into the Forrester mansion unnoticed. Years of skulking through halls, listening at doors, and planting seeds of discord had sharpened her instincts. Today, she had an unsettling feeling, an intuition that led her to the mansion's lavish living room, where Rich, Thomas, and Steffi were deep in conversation. Sheila, positioned just out of sight, leaned closer, her ears pricking up at the mention of Taylor's name. Steffi's voice wavered, heavy with concern. "Dad, we need to do something. She's not herself anymore. It's getting worse." Sheila's heart quickened, the thrill of a new puzzle building within her. She hadn't been privy to the details of Taylor's condition, but from what she could hear, it sounded serious. The kind of serious that Sheila could twist into an advantage. Rich, his voice gruff with concern, sighed. "I know, Steffi. I've been trying to get her help, but she keeps pushing me away. She's convinced that no one can help her. She's shutting down, and I'm running out of ideas. Sheila's eyes gleamed as she digested this. Taylor, the formidable psychiatrist, the moral compass of the Forrester family, was falling apart. A woman who had always prided herself on helping others was now crumbling from the inside, a grim condition enveloping her life. Thomas, usually the voice of reason, chimed in with an edge of frustration. We can't just sit here and to do nothing. We need to get her into a facility, or at least convince her to see a specialist. She can't keep spiraling like this. She's losing her grip on reality. Sheila's breath caught in her throat. Losing her grip on reality. This was bigger than she had imagined. If Taylor's mental state was deteriorating to the point of psychosis or delusion, that opened doors Sheila never dreamed of pushing open. She listened carefully as Steffi's voice softened. We can't force her, but maybe we can talk to someone she trusts. Someone who can break through to her. Ridge shook his head. I've already tried talking to Brooke, but we all know how that went. Taylor won't listen to her, not after everything. Sheila grinned to herself in the shadows. Brooke and Taylor, forever rivals, still playing their same old game. But this time, it wasn't about Ridge. It was about Taylor's very sanity, and that was a card Sheila could play. But it wasn't just Taylor's fragile mental state that intrigued Sheila. No, there was something more. Something deeper. The way Ridge spoke about Taylor's condition suggested it wasn't just a typical breakdown. There was a grimness to his tone that hinted at something darker, something more permanent. Sheila had to know more. When the conversation ended and the Forresters dispersed, Sheila moved quietly through the house, her mind whirring with possibilities. She didn't need much time to gather more information, and she wasn't above sneaking into Taylor's private quarters to snoop for clues. After all, in Sheila's world, nothing was off limits. It didn't take long for her to find what she was looking for. In Taylor's bedroom, Sheila discovered scattered notes, medical pamphlets, and a prescription bottle that confirmed her suspicions. Taylor wasn't just struggling with emotional demons, she was physically ill. A rare and aggressive condition had been slowly consuming her, and it was clear she hadn't shared the full extent of her diagnosis with anyone. Sheila picked up one of the pamphlets, her fingers tracing the bold letters that spelled out the name of the illness. The prognosis wasn't good. No wonder Taylor was unraveling. The weight of a terminal illness coupled with her emotional turmoil was enough to push anyone to the edge. The irony wasn't lost on Sheila. The woman who had dedicated her life to healing others was now facing her own unhealable wound. Sheila's mind raced with the possibilities. If Taylor was truly this fragile, it wouldn't take much to tip her over the edge. And who better to give her that final push than Sheila herself? But Sheila wasn't one to act hastily. No, this was a delicate game, one that required careful manipulation. She could use this information to her advantage, but she had to be smart about it. If she exposed Taylor's condition too soon, the Forresters might rally around her, and that wasn't what Sheila wanted. She needed to isolate Taylor, make her feel alone, vulnerable, and helpless. Sheila slipped out of the mansion as quietly as she had come, her mind already working on the next steps. She would bide her time, planting seeds of doubt in the minds of those closest to Taylor. Perhaps a well-timed conversation with Brooke, a few whispers in Ridge's ear about Taylor's worsening condition. It wouldn't take long for the cracks to deepen, and once Taylor was truly broken, Sheila would be there to pick up the pieces, or to finish the job. As she walked away from the Forrester estate, a sense of satisfaction washed over her. Taylor's grim condition was a ticking time bomb, and Sheila had the detonator. All she needed to do was wait for the perfect moment to strike. But as she plotted her next move, a nagging thought tugged at the back of Sheila's mind. What if Taylor wasn't the only one at risk? What if her discovery of Taylor's condition led to something far more dangerous than she anticipated? For the first time in a long while, Sheila felt a flicker of uncertainty. She thrived on chaos, but even she knew there were lines that, once crossed, could never be undone. Still, she couldn't resist the pull of the game. Taylor was weak, vulnerable, and ripe for manipulation, and Sheila Carter had never been one to pass up an opportunity. The question was, would she push too far this time? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain. Sheila had already set the wheels in motion, and there was no turning back now. Taylor's grim condition would be the key to her undoing, and Sheila would be there to revel in the fallout.